Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, I will build the British Sea Harrier FRS Mk.1 from Hasegawa. This kit was first introduced in the year 1983, so it's an old-timer with a good price. The moldings are decent, there are visible small details and negative many-line engravings. But some important details like a detailed cockpit are missing. The kit includes a pilot figure, fuel tanks, bombs, Sea Eagle and Sidewinder missiles. The clear parts look good, but they are a little bit thick for my taste. The instruction manuals is easy to read and clear. For each step, there are explanations for the correct procedure and coloring. The markings and paintings manual includes 4 paint schemes. Most of them are from the Falkland War. The water slide decals look amazing and in good quality. In addition to a small scratch build, this build will be completely out of the box. Okay, let's get started. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell for not missing any new notifications. Since the cockpit is poorly detailed, I decided to upgrade the pilot seat with a scratch build. I created the seats and the belts from a 3M masking tape and metal buckets from a 0.3mm lead wires. The masking tape is sticky, but for a better bond, I use superglue. For the belts, I use the same method like on the 1:32 scale Mk.1 UM. Unfortunately, the project is still in progress. For a small scratch build, it looks okay. There is a big hole behind the parachute box. I simply fill it up with epoxy putty. Let's give the cockpit a paint job. The whole cockpit is painted with Gunze Mr. Color C11 light cool grey. The ejection seat is brush painted with Vallejo model color paints. I tested these colors in a previous project, and I must say, they're amazing to apply. Now I apply a gloss varnish to seal the paint job, do a light grey dry brush, and apply water slide decals. I'm not used anymore to build simplified cockpits like this one, but I need to take a little break from more difficult projects. So a out-of-the-box build is welcomed. I clear my head with simpler projects and gain strength and determination for more difficult ones. Looks like the cockpit doesn't want to be glued into the fuselage. I had to glue it with superglue. To be sure, I added weight to the fuselage. Now I can glue both halves of the front fuselage together. Before I can glue the main fuselage halves together, I must paint the Pegasus jet engine. Let's glue the main fuselage halves together. After that, I glue the thrust vectoring jet nozzles, wings, horizontal stabilizers, and the front section of the fuselage. The kit includes an option to equip the model with two external 30mm cannons. For a better detail, I drill holes with a small drill and create the cannon muzzles from a surgical needle. Let's glue them to the fuselage. Next, I glue the pitot tube, refueling probe, external fuel tanks, and weapon hardpoints. The Harrier's bicycle landing gear is a little bit simplified and deserves a minor scratchable upgrade. Therefore, I add 0.3mm wires to imitate hydraulic hoses. The next step is the cockpit. I paint the front instrument cover matte black, glue the heads-up display and paint it with a very diluted green paint. At the end, I glue the front section of the cockpit canopy with Mr. Cement SP. This type of glue vaporizes very fast, so is the best option for gluing canopies. The model's assembly is done for now. Now I must fill every gap with putty. I apply the putty with an old paintbrush. It's much easier and faster than using a toothpick. After it's dry, I sand down the putty underwater with a smooth sandpaper. The next step is masking. First, I mask the edges of the cockpit canopy with a thin masking tape. This step is crucial. The tape must stick. Second, I apply a liquid mask. The liquid mask is one of the best ways to mask your cockpits. After drying, its rubbery surface protects the clear part, can be touched and removed very easy. Just don't forget to clean your paintbrush right after applying. It dries very fast. Oh, and one more tip. The liquid mask can be also used as a bonder between masking tapes. And third, I mask the jet intake with an ordinary kitchen sponge. The model is ready for the paint job. The first layer is a primer surfacer. I usually start the paint job with pre-shading. This technique is simple. Apply the black paint only on the panel lines and more shaded surfaces. Since I have the black paint in my airbrush, I also paint the radar cone and the landing gear wheels. In the kit are 3 variants of the camouflage. I like the dark sea grey the most. The paint is highly diluted into 1:5 mix ratio to thinner. 1 drop of paint to 5 drops of thinner. And what will be a model without post shading? Since I'm building a Navy airplane, the model needs to have a faded and worn-off surface. To do so, I mix a drop of white paint to the camouflage. After airbrushing, I paint all the small details with Vallejo paints using only a thin paintbrush. I also purchased some clear paint for my future projects. Okay, let's seal the paint job with a glossy varnish coat. Next is the decal placement. I usually add a drop of diluted Vallejo decal fixer first. Then I place the decal into the right position and remove the unnecessary water and air bubbles with a cotton bud. At the end, I apply a soften chemical and create panel lines. To protect the decals from harm, I'll seal them with a layer of gloss varnish coat. The next step is weathering. Let's begin with a black wash. I apply the wash only in the panel lines and not on the whole surface. Most washes can leave the surface a little bit dark, and I want to avoid this. The wash's drying time is few minutes. Now I clean the excessive wash with enamel thinner. The combination of pre-shading, highly diluted camo painting, post shading and washing creates a nice contrast between each panel. Let's add a matte varnish, because it's time to apply oil paints. Mostly I use a dark brown and black oil paints. These two paints are ideal to create high-grade oil leaks and dirt. Since this project is a relaxing one, I want to keep it straightforward and simple. Now I seal the oil weathering with a final layer of matte varnish. Let's remove the masking and start with the final assembly. I glued the bicycle landing gear, 2 external fuel tanks, 2 infrared AIM-9L sidewinder missiles, and the cockpit canopy. And the Hasegawa's 1:72 scale British Aerospace Sea Harrier FRS Mk.1 is finished. This build was a relaxing one and was a lot of fun. Now I can build something more complicated. I hope you like this video build. Please subscribe to my channel, like or leave a comment down below. If you want to see more of my work, join me on Facebook, Instagram or Telegram. There is a link in the description. Thank you for watching guys, and see you next time.